Happy election day, Aaron. Yeah, I mean, I look at sort of three different demographic groupings I look at. Where did Hillary Clinton win, like with women? And does Joe Biden do even better than Hillary Clinton did with female voters? Or groups that Donald Trump won last time, but Joe Biden may be poised to actually win this time, like seniors and independents. And then there's like the groups that Donald Trump did really well with, and that I expect he'll do well with again today, like his very base white non-college educated men. But I'm looking to see, is he doing as well? Is he doing better with this kind of group than he did 4 years ago? Or is Joe Biden actually also eating into some of Donald Trump's strongest categories? So I'm going to be looking across those demographics.
Right, and those are really crucial, right? Because he's got to outperform in some areas to make up for losses expected perhaps in others, seniors. And by the way, just as we're talking, David, Joe Biden's at a community center with an unscheduled stop in Wilmington on his way back to home, where he'll be watching the results. And so watching the results now, David, let's go through that, right? Because you have how many polls close at each hour, and then obviously some of them we may know the answer to right then, and others we may not know for quite some time because of these lags in counting votes.
Exactly. Take a look at the poll closings in the most critical battleground states, and what you see right away is that earlier in the evening, you've got North Carolina and Georgia at 7, North Carolina at 7:30, Ohio at 7:30, and Florida at 8, though most of the state closes at 7. So just those first 4 states there, all states Donald Trump won 4 years ago, but states that actually can get the count out, Aaron, and will be counting early pre-election absentee mail vote as well, that will be infused into the results. And if we see Joe Biden doing really well in those states, that could indicate that perhaps it's not going to be some long, dragged out for days just waiting on Pennsylvania. Now, if we see Donald Trump holding that territory, then it perhaps will indicate to us, we may be waiting on those Midwestern Rust Belt states that will take a little longer to count. So I think that the early Sun Belt states there that close are going to give us the indication, are we in for a long haul here, or might this thing actually make itself clear sooner than we initially expected?
Right. And as you point out, even if Trump wins one of those states, but it's extremely tight, and to your point about demographics, that may give you an indication of where another state is going.
Yeah, without a doubt, because what you look for is sort of patterns, right? So if you see sort of demographic groups in the suburbs are behaving one way in North Carolina, perhaps the suburbs are behaving similarly in Georgia or elsewhere.
Right. This is going to be the crucial thing as we are now just a couple hours away from those first polls closing, Kentucky among them. All right, thank you very much, David Chalian, and thank you for joining us. Our special coverage of Election Night in America continues right now.
It's election night in America, and a nation in crisis is at a crossroads.
We're counting down to the first exit polls and the first results as our coverage begins now.
Across the nation, in red states and blue states and swing states, voters are delivering their verdict on a norm-shattering president and 2 starkly different visions of America's future.
The President of the United States lied to the American people, and he is unfit for this job.
If Biden wins, your country is gone.
Tonight, President Donald Trump fighting for a second term as a deadly pandemic gets worse on his watch.
All they want to talk about is COVID.
But look, I got it, and I'm here right now. Former Vice President Joe Biden battling to lead the country after 4 years of political turmoil and division.
There is no place for hate in America. Period. None.
It's a historic clash for the candidates and their running mates. Senator Kamala Harris aiming to be the first woman and person of color as vice president.
When we vote, things change. When we vote, we win.
Vice President Mike Pence hoping to remain as President Trump's loyal lieutenant.
We will make America great again.
With voters now flocking to the polls after record-breaking early turnout. How and when will this election be decided?
This is the most important election in the history of our country.
The power to change the country
皆さんはどちらが
This is CNN's coverage of election
大
night
統領選に勝つと思いますか？私はトランプに勝ってもらいたい。
The balance of power and the challenges facing the nation.
There's not a damn thing America
でなきゃ
when we decide to do it
ドル円は100円を割ることになると
The
思いま
world
す。
is watching, and anything is possible until the last vote.
This is a live view from high above Washington as Americans are deciding who will serve in the White House for the next 4 years. Welcome to our viewers here in the United States and around the world. I'm Wolf Blitzer in the CNN Election Center. Right now, voters are in the final hours of making a monumental decision for this country about who will lead us through the next 4 years, former Vice President Joe Biden or President Donald Trump. We're counting